Do you ever look around and wonder why everyone seems to have their own group, their own circle, their own little tribe? But you're either alone or you have one or two people you talk to sometimes. And it's not that you hate people. It's not that you're boring. It's not that you're antisocial, but still, you find yourself isolated. Let me tell you something most people don't know. Being alone is usually not a sign that something is wrong with you. In fact, it's often a sign that something is very rare about you. Something most people don't understand. Something most people are not built to handle. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 rare traits that people with few or no friends usually have. And when I say rare, I mean less than 1% of people will relate to these. If you relate to even one of them, you're probably not friendless. You're just different in a way that most people aren't ready for. Let's dive in. 1. You are extremely self-aware. Here's the truth nobody tells you. Most people don't like being around someone who is too self-aware. Why? Because self-awareness is like a mirror, and mirrors make people uncomfortable. If you're the type of person who can instantly sense someone's mood, who can read between the lines, who can see motives, insecurities, lies, or hidden intentions, people get nervous around you. You don't even have to say anything. Your presence alone makes them feel exposed. Imagine you're at work or school. A group is gossiping, laughing, making jokes about someone. You walk in, you don't even say, "Stop." But your energy changes the room. Suddenly they behave differently. They become more careful, more tense, more proper. Not because you're intimidating, but because you're aware. You see through nonsense. You notice what others pretend not to see. People who are very self-aware often feel isolated because they can't enjoy fake conversations. They get tired of shallow behavior. They don't play social games. They sense bad intentions early, so they naturally pull away. And the sad part? Most people interpret this as, you're not social. But what's really happening is, your mind is too awake for the average person. Awake minds attract truth, but they also attract distance. 2. You value peace more than company. Some people fear being alone. You fear being in the wrong company. While others chase crowds, you chase peace. You would rather sit in your room, listening to music, thinking, writing, or simply breathing, than spend time with people who drain your energy. Some people get bored when they're alone. But for you, your alone time is like oxygen. You need it, you crave it, you feel restored by it. It's not loneliness, it's clarity. Your phone vibrates. Someone texts you, "Hey, let's hang out." You look at the message and something inside you says, I don't think I want to. I don't have the energy. Not because you dislike them, but because your soul feels tired. You know that if you go, you'll come home feeling drained. You'll need hours, sometimes days, to recharge. People like you measure friendships in energy, not in numbers. You don't need 10 friends. You don't even need 3. One person who respects your peace is more valuable to you than 50 people who only want you around to kill their boredom. This is why you'd rather stay alone than force connections that don't feel right. And that choice makes your circle smaller, but your inner world richer. Rare trait number 3. You think deeply, feel deeply, and see deeply. Deep thinkers rarely fit in. Not because they're weird, but because they're on a different frequency. Your mind is like an ocean, rich, complex, full of thoughts, ideas, questions, and reflections. Meanwhile, many people prefer to live on the surface like small ponds. They talk about the latest gossip. You think about life, patterns, human behavior, purpose. They argue over opinions. You wonder about truth. They talk just to talk. You speak only when you have something meaningful to say. You're sitting with people who are talking about something trivial. Did you hear what she posted? Bro, he cheated again. Who do you think is dating who? You sit quietly, not because you're shy, but because your mind is bored. You feel like you're in a room full of noise, but no substance. And when you finally talk, you say something thoughtful. The room gets quiet. People don't know how to respond. They make a joke, laugh it off, or change the subject. Deep thinkers often confuse simple minds. So deep thinkers end up isolated, not because they don't want friends, but because most people cannot meet them where they are. Depth needs depth, and depth is rare. 4. You have a strong BS detector. Here's the thing. Most friendships survive on small lies, pretending, and unspoken tensions. But people like you can't fake connections. You can't ignore red flags. You can't tolerate manipulation. You can't pretend everything is fine when it isn't. You sense hidden jealousy, envy disguised as jokes, passive-aggressive behavior. People who only come when they need something. Users, liars, pretenders. Even before they reveal themselves, you already feel the energy. Someone is being too nice to you. Everyone else thinks they're sweet. But you can sense something off. You can't fully explain it. You just know. A few weeks later, boom, the real reason comes out. They wanted a favor, they wanted access. They wanted something from you. This happens to you often. Your gift is that you see masks. Your curse is that you wish you didn't. This trait protects you, but it also isolates you. Why? Because you walk away early. Before the damage, before the drama, before the betrayal. Most people don't understand this. They think you don't give people a chance. But in reality, you're protecting yourself from the chaos they willingly walk into. 5. You are in a growth phase that most people around you are not ready for. This one is big. Sometimes you have few or no friends because you are growing, and the people around you are not. You're healing, you're learning, you're becoming more aware. You're improving your life, your mindset, your habits. And growth is uncomfortable, not just for you, but for the people around you. Your presence reminds them of what they're ignoring. Your discipline exposes their lack of discipline. Your honesty exposes their denial. Your goals expose their comfort zone. Your self-awareness exposes their patterns. So what do people do when they feel exposed? They avoid you, or you naturally outgrow them. You used to vibe with certain people. You used to laugh, hang out, party, talk for hours. But now, when you're around them, something feels wrong. Their conversations feel childish. Their mindset feels small. Their habits feel draining. The energy feels off. It's like your soul doesn't fit there anymore. And maybe you've been wondering, what's happening to me? Why don't I connect with them like before? Simple, you've changed. They haven't. And you cannot shrink yourself to fit into the same spaces you've outgrown. Sometimes losing friends isn't a loss. It's a sign that you're leveling up in ways your old circle cannot follow. Before we continue, keep this in mind. People with few or no friends are usually not broken. They're evolving. They're awake. They're different. And in a world where everyone is trying to fit in, different stands out. Different feels lonely, but different has power. Now that you know the 5 rare traits, let's break them down even further and look at how they shape your life, your relationships, your behavior, and even your future. Because people with few or no friends don't just have these traits, they live them every day, whether they realize it or not. When you're highly self-aware, you unintentionally create what I call an invisible wall between you and other people. Not because you want distance, but because your mind naturally observes instead of blindly engaging. Here's what this looks like. You notice the tone someone uses. You catch small shifts in energy. You sense when someone is uncomfortable. You feel when someone is being fake. You detect patterns most people ignore. Because of this, you don't jump into connections quickly. You take your time, you evaluate, you watch. But here's the problem. Most people don't understand thoughtful silence. They interpret it as disinterest, arrogance, awkwardness, or you don't like them. But what's actually happening is your mind needs to feel safe before it opens. And safety is not something you feel with everyone. This invisible wall is not a weakness. It's a built-in filter. It keeps away the wrong people before they even get close. But yes, it can also make you look distant or uninterested. It's the price of awareness. A lot of people socialize for fun. You socialize only when your soul agrees. And that is rare. People like you experience something called energy cost. This means every conversation, every outing, every group interaction costs energy. Some people fill you, most people drain you. Here's what people don't understand. You don't get lonely easily. You get overstimulated easily. There's a difference. You enjoy calm environments, a clean room, soft music, silence, nature, or just sitting with your thoughts. And because you value peace so highly, you become selective with people and experiences. You don't click with everyone, and honestly, you don't want to. Your peace is too expensive to hand out for free. Let's talk about something that affects deep thinkers the most, the frequency gap. This gap is the distance between how you think and how the people around you think. When the gap is small, friendships flow easily. But when the gap is large, every interaction feels like effort. For example, you're thinking about purpose, growth, and life decisions. They're thinking about trends, gossip, and surface-level drama. You're trying to understand your emotions, your patterns, your relationships. They're trying to distract themselves from understanding anything. You live with awareness. They live with avoidance. Do you see the gap? Because of this, deep thinkers often feel like, there's no one I can talk to. No one gets me. I feel older than my age. I think differently from everyone around me. Conversations feel empty. This is not in your head. It's real. Deep people cannot connect with shallow energies. Oil and water don't mix. Light and darkness don't blend. Depth and shallowness don't align. Your mind is simply too rich to stay in small talk forever. People with strong intuition have a powerful trait called the early exit instinct. This instinct kicks in when your inner radar senses danger, dishonesty, or negative energy, even before anything obvious happens. Here's how it works. Someone starts acting overly friendly. You sense something behind it. Someone cracks a joke that feels like an attack. You pick it up instantly. Someone gets jealous silently. You feel it before they show it. Someone's energy shifts. Your body reacts before your mind understands. And then you pull away, not because you're dramatic, not because you're paranoid, not because you're unfriendly. You pull away because your intuition has never been wrong. You've seen patterns repeat too many times. You've learned from past experiences. You've watched people's actions contradict their words, so you exit early, before the manipulation, before the disappointment, before the heartbreak. This protects you, but it also keeps your circle incredibly small. Most people stay even after they see red flags. You leave when the flag is still yellow. This is why people think you disappear. You're unpredictable. You're distant. You don't give chances. But the truth is, you are simply hard to fool. And that makes you hard to keep. Not everyone can handle someone who sees everything. Let's talk about what happens when you outgrow people. It doesn't happen loudly. It happens silently. This is how silent separation works. You start thinking differently. Conversations stop flowing. You stop wanting the same things. Activities stop feeling fun. You become more self-aware. Jokes start feeling hurtful. You start healing. Toxic patterns become obvious. You start having goals. Their mentality starts feeling risky. You become more calm. Their chaos becomes unbearable. Nothing dramatic happens. No big fight. No explosion. No falling out. Just distance. Just silence. Just that strange feeling that your soul has shifted into a different lane, one they cannot travel. This is painful, but it is normal. Growth always creates space, and often, the people who filled your old life cannot enter your new one. This doesn't mean you did anything wrong. It means you are evolving, and evolution is lonely. Here's the twist. People like you often struggle to make friends. But when the right people find you, you become unforgettable. Why? Because you have qualities that are extremely rare. You're loyal, you're sincere, you don't betray people, you don't gossip, you love deeply, you listen, you understand. You give without taking. You see people clearly, you bring peace. You're not the type to have 1,000 friends. You're the type who makes one friend feel like they won the lottery. But until the right people arrive, your life will look quiet. Your circle will look empty. Your energy will look reserved. Not because you're broken, but because you're built differently. Let's go even deeper into how these traits impact your life in ways you may not fully realize. 1. You struggle to open up. Not because you don't trust people, but because you trust your intuition more. 2. You rarely feel understood. Not because you're complicated, but because you're deeper than average. 3. You avoid drama instinctively. Not because you're weak, but because you value emotional safety. 4. You don't fit into groups easily. Not because you're antisocial, but because group dynamics lack authenticity. 5. You often feel older than your age. Not because you missed out on youth, but because your mind matured faster. 6. You keep your circle small. Not because you're unfriendly, but because your energy is sacred. 7. You connect deeply with very few. Not because you're picky, but because your soul recognizes truth instantly. Now let's go beneath the surface, because you weren't born different for no reason. People with few or no friends usually didn't choose that path. Life, experiences, and the environments they grew up in shaped them into someone more aware, more cautious, more introspective, more selective, more mature. Your traits came from somewhere. Let's unpack the psychology behind them. 1. You grew up observing more than speaking. Many people who grow up to be highly self-aware were once kids who had to watch before they acted, listen before they spoke, predict others' moods, manage emotional environments. Maybe you grew up around unpredictable people, a parent with mood swings, a strict guardian, conflict at home, or emotional inconsistency. Kids like this learn early that watching carefully keeps you safe. You develop emotional intelligence, intuition, pattern recognition, sensitivity to tone and energy. And these skills don't go away. They follow you into adulthood. This is why you feel things long before others do. It's not magic. It's not weirdness. It's survival instincts that turned into wisdom. But the downside, you learned how to read people, but not how to rely on them. 2. You learned to self-soothe early. People who enjoy peace and alone time are often people who learn to comfort themselves early in life. Maybe you couldn't always depend on someone to understand you, validate you, calm you, support you, protect you, give you space to express emotions, so you became your own safe space. As a child, you may have stayed in your room a lot, entertained yourself, withdrew into imagination, avoided conflict by staying quiet, found comfort in silence. This created an adult who doesn't need constant company, finds peace in solitude, feels drained by chaotic or loud environments, seeks calm connections, not loud friendships. Your alone time was your emotional shelter. It still is. 3. You matured faster than people around you. Some people stay mentally young until their late 20s. Others are emotionally mature by 13 or 14. Those who mature early often grew up with responsibilities too big for their age. Emotional labor they didn't choose. The need to think ahead. The pressure to stay strong. People depending on them. Environments where they had to be the adult. This creates deeper thinking, advanced awareness, strong empathy, early independence, a reflective personality. The downside, you outgrow people your age very quickly. Their jokes feel childish. Their behavior feels confusing. Their interests feel shallow. While they're still figuring out who they are, you're already dealing with life, purpose, boundaries, growth, clarity, and self-awareness. You're not boring, you're ahead. And being ahead often means being alone. 4. Your sensitivity is not weakness. It's a different nervous system. People with strong intuition and emotional depth usually have a highly sensitive nervous system. That means you feel deeply, you think deeply, you notice everything. You get overwhelmed by noise, crowds, and chaos. You pick up emotional signals faster than others. You recharge slowly. This trait is often called highly sensitive person, HSP. Intuitive empath, deep feeler. Emotionally attuned, energetically aware. People like you easily detect tension in a room, dishonesty, hidden agendas, emotional shifts, jealousy, insecurity, manipulation. Others walk into a room and feel nothing. You walk in and feel everything. That makes you extraordinary, but it also limits the type of people you can tolerate. You can't be around chaos, drama, or fakery. Your body reacts to it. Your nervous system rejects low-quality connections. 5. You had to grow through pain. Let's be honest. Some of these traits came from hurt. You didn't become wise, cautious, intuitive, and self-aware because everything was perfect. You became this way because someone disappointed you, friends betrayed you, people misused your kindness, you were judged unfairly, your loyalty was taken for granted, you gave too much and received too little, you were misunderstood, you carried pain quietly, you trusted the wrong people, you saw the dark side of human nature early. Pain sharpens perception. Suffering increases insight. Loneliness builds identity. People who have been through a lot often come out with qualities that others simply do not possess. Resilience, intuition, emotional strength, discipline, patience, depth, self-sufficiency. You earn these traits through experience, and those experiences often leave you with fewer friends, but a more powerful soul. Let's talk about your friend history, because it has shaped how you behave today. Here are the most common patterns among people with few friends. 1. You were the therapist friend, the one everyone came to when they needed advice, comfort, or emotional support. You gave them time, energy, clarity, understanding, but you never got the same in return. You were the healer, they were the takers. Eventually you stopped giving, and most of them disappeared. 2. You tolerated too much. You overlooked disrespect, inconsistency, one-sided effort, emotional immaturity, broken boundaries. You stayed too long in friendships that drained you. Now you don't tolerate anything, not because you're harsh, but because you learned. 3. You trusted too easily. You gave your heart, your energy, your loyalty quickly, and people misused it. Now you trust slowly, sometimes too slowly, because you're protecting yourself. 4. You were the old soul in your group. You matured faster than your friends. While they were still in a playful or reckless phase, you were thinking about real life. The gap increased, the connection faded. It wasn't your fault, it was evolution. 5. You've experienced betrayal. This one changes everything. When someone you cared about lied, used you, talked behind your back, switched up, left when you needed them, or did something that broke your trust. A part of you changed forever. Your heart closed slightly. Your intuition sharpened. Your standards rose. Your circle shrank. This is why you find it hard to open up now. Not because you don't want to love, but because you loved the wrong people too deeply. Here's something most people don't know. When someone is isolated, not by force but by choice, they're usually in a transition phase of life. This phase is often marked by self-discovery, healing, rebuilding identity, letting go of old energies, redefining standards, emotional recovery, mental growth, spiritual awakening, expanding awareness, becoming more authentic. This phase is extremely lonely and extremely important. It's the phase where you break old patterns, You remove fake people. You see through illusions. You connect with your true self. You stop begging for love. You stop explaining yourself. You stop settling. You stop people-pleasing. You start valuing your peace. You're not friendless. You're transforming. You're not lonely. You're recalibrating. You're not behind. You're growing in silence. And growth always happens alone before it is noticed by others. If you've listened to everything up to this point and found yourself thinking, "That's me. This is literally my life," then I want you to hear this clearly. There is nothing wrong with you. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not inadequate. You are simply rare. People like you do not fit into crowds because you are not meant for crowds. You are meant for alignment, not attention. Depth, not noise. Meaning, not popularity. Quality, not quantity. Your loneliness is not a punishment, it is preparation. Your silence is not emptiness, it is growth. Your small circle is not a failure, it is a filter. Every trait that makes you friendless today is the same trait that will make you powerful tomorrow. Your self-awareness will save you from toxic relationships. Your love of peace will protect your mental health. Your deep thinking will lead you to purpose. Your strong intuition will keep you away from the wrong people. Your growth will attract those who match your soul, not your wounds. And the truth is, people like you don't get many friends. But the ones they eventually get, those connections are real. They are loyal. They are life-changing. They are rare, just like you, so don't rush your life. Don't force friendships. Don't shrink yourself to fit into groups that cannot contain you. Don't lower your standards to feel included. Don't apologize for being selective. Don't dim your awareness because others find it uncomfortable. You are not hard to love. You are just hard to access, and that is a strength, not a flaw. One day the people who are meant for you, the ones who understand your depth, your silence, your mind, your energy, will find you. They will connect effortlessly. They will stay. They will match your loyalty. They will appreciate your presence. They will love your spirit. Because the truth is simple. Rare souls attract rare connections, and rare connections take time. Until then, continue becoming who you are meant to be. Your tribe is on its way. And when they finally arrive, you'll understand why you waited so long, why you walked alone, and why your journey had to look different. You weren't lonely. You were leveling up. And now, you're ready for what comes next. If this message spoke to you, if you felt seen, understood, or finally explained, then don't keep it to yourself. Share this with someone who feels alone, someone who thinks their quiet nature is a flaw, someone who believes they're too different or too deep for this world. They need to hear this too. And if you want more content on psychology, self-awareness, emotional growth, rare personality traits, healing and personal transformation, then follow, subscribe, or stick around, because I make content for people like you. The deep ones, the observers, the quiet thinkers, the old souls. The ones who feel too much and say too little. You are my people, so stay connected. Your journey is just beginning, and you don't have to walk it alone. Let's grow together.